Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, oh, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah.
Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too.
Salutations, Stupos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, getting to know some interesting and amazing people all over the world has been so outstanding. It has been astonishing. And having said that, I have someone else that you need to meet right now. This young man is the founder of an organization called TFC Training, specializing in mobility and athletic coaching. This person, which is why I was interested in them because I saw this on their Instagram page. This person is on the North American tour right now for the Lion King. So this person does a lot, and we are going to sit and have a chat with this thespian. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Marquise Hitchcock.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Doing just fine. The West Coast is nice and sunny and calm, right?
Yeah.
So nice change of pace. I love it.
Yeah, I'm from back east either. I'm good. I'm back east either. And right now it's a thunderstorm outside.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. But I was going to earlier before COVID, I was going to move to Las Vegas because that was kind of my thing. I knew I needed to be in a city that was progressive, that would understand the type of entertainment that I provided.
Absolutely.
And I'm from Philadelphia, so big town, small mind. And they really didn't understand that this was not drag.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I'm a trans illusionist. I've been a cross-dresser since I was 8 years old. So, and it's kind of funny because, we all look for representation of ourselves in the world. And I apparently and ironically, I see more representation of me in Brazil. I see it in Europe, other places where, I've been and where I also want to go. So I'm just kind of just doing what I do for America right now, but I'm global. So yeah, so I'm going to take myself where I belong and I'm going to get out of the way and it's going to be fine. But yeah, most people get confused because they see me and they're like, oh, you're a drag queen. No, baby, I'm not a drag queen. I'm a trans illusionist. And
Right.
the difference. And it's set up differently, but I love my trans sisters. I have a lot of trans sisters that reach out to me and are very supportive of me because they can see the two-spirited, ability in me.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's me. So for you, mister, my God, start off by telling us where you're from, because I'm talking about where I'm from. You're in California, but where are you from?
Sure. I'm originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Yeah. Do they all look like you in Virginia?
I will say this, my experience has been very different than a lot of people, especially in a time right now when we're speaking about a political climate and everything going on, right? But I'm from a military town. So I did grow up with a whole bunch of different types of people, which was really, really great for me. I didn't really truly understand racism until I moved up north and became an adult. Because as a kid, which I love, like my foundation of developing my own voice was that I could do anything and be anything. And you know what I mean? What was race? Like literally. So yeah, there were people who looked like me. It was a very diverse community. But as I began to climb the ladder of entertainment, far few, right? Knocking off, the higher you go, they call it a talent pyramid, and the higher you get, the less people you see that look like you. And that really is true.
Yeah. And it's discouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you realize you've got to hold the space for everybody. You've got a hole that you've got to occupy. And every chance that you get is a chance for representation, diversity, and inclusion.
Yes, this ain't a game now.
No, it's not. It becomes, thank you for saying that, because people, I have celebrity friends and things, and they always want to invite me out, and a bitch don't go. She don't go. And they're like, why? And it's like, because I understand that there are a lot of talented people in this world
Mm,
who will not be able to occupy this space.
right.
I started at the very bottom. I literally had to build the foundation, dig it out, put the foundation, and literally build it layer by layer, floor by floor. And we got here. And it has been a journey. And people need to really understand that what I do, I make it look so easy. You make it look so easy. It's like you've been dancing forever, and performing forever, but they don't see the rigors
Mm,
of the work, the hard work, the sacrifices, the not going out, the not clubbing, the not partying, the going to bed early, or going to bed late because you're
yeah.
trying to perform, prepare to give your best. And I want to say something too about entertainment too. What people don't understand about this business is our business was very much created to entertain the rich.
Mm, of course.
So they don't care if we danced 8 shows this week. They don't care if we're physically tired.
Mm,
We need to do this because, hey, we're rich. We pay you. We want to see you do that thing you do. And if you can't, we'll just get someone else.
that's real.
It is. And, for a long time, it terrified me. It kept me from doing it. I've been all over. I'll be 40 in September. I started at, yeah, I know, right? Everybody. And when I say that,
I know.
everybody's like, "Hold up, bitch, you lying."
Wow.
It's true. September 29th, 1982. I'll be 40. But I started as a model at 19. By 22, I was in Paris modeling. Hard, 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 hard. When I tell you hard, I eventually had to leave. Hard. So then I come back to the States, and then it was singing. Hard, 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 hard,
Yeah.
hard. And people don't realize that. They don't understand that. And me, I had certain pillars of my integrity that I could not compromise. So it was very difficult for me. And a lot of times I had to take the high road. And that was a road that wasn't even forged. I had to forge it myself. So I definitely understand what it's like to be a Black face in the midst of an entertainment world and be the only Black face.
Absolutely. I mean, I know you do, first of all, because like anything else, I'm someone who likes to know what it is that I'm going to be a part of.
Mhm.
And I think as Black people in general, it's our responsibility to know the history of,
Mhm.
because you can't forge any path or create any way of doing anything without knowing. So of course I did my homework and I watched all the interviews, and you interviewed a lot of my friends and people that I know. Of course I did.
Oh
So
my God.
I had to make sure that I did my homework to do, the conversation justice. And I applaud you for all the things that you continuously do. And like you said, the funny thing is the industry doesn't even reward the work. They don't want to see the work.
Nope.
You know what I mean? People want to see the finished, the finished product, the glamour of it, but people genuinely don't want to see the effort it takes to do it. So I applaud you, because I'm sure there were plenty of nights where you were like this, because I know what that is. You know what I mean? And it has worked out beautifully. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to say this. There are still those nights.
Yeah. Hello.
There's still those nights.
Sure.
I was blessed to have my work. And this is the thing, my grandmother's my biggest supporter. I'm here not just because of my talent and my, ability. I'm here because my grandmother worked 40 years as an educator, took her entire retirement package and bankrolled my career.
Wow.
Exactly. I want people to, and I always say that. And people say in the comments, why does he always say that? I want them to understand that there are plenty of talents that go to the graveyard because they don't have money. I would have been one of them. There was
Sure.
nobody to really invest in a way that would have allowed me to stand on top and keep my intellectual property. Everybody wanted to rob me blind. Oh, we'll give you this little bit of money up front, but if we give you $250,000 now and hold on to your material for 10 years, you're going to make us 250 million.
Right.
And people don't think like that. And,
Right.
and I never, those nights, I think about all the babies who I see and I know without that financial piece, they'll never become their best versions of themselves. And it's so sad that we live in a world that is so monetarily driven, but it is. And I used to have this thing. I would say to myself, I am not a court jester. I am not here to tap dance and sing for kings and queens. And then they just flag me off, you know? And I needed to create something that allowed people to hear how I thought and not just what I looked like or what I sounded like. I needed them to understand who I am.
Yeah.
And in this venture, I was able to do that, but it took the sacrifices. My God, the
Sure.
sacrifices were deep. And today, the reason why I said all of that was this, I've been blessed to be outside of Hollywood and have my name enter rooms that I've yet to enter.
Mm.
Hollywood was never my objective. I wanted to take myself back to Paris and not work here because I felt like I couldn't work here because they didn't understand all of this. So, if you're not a drag queen, then no. If you're not Medea or Eddie Murphy, if you're not the comical version,
Sure.
then you can't work here. So I was prepared to leave. But like I said, my work has really, and my name has entered rooms to where I was recently afforded the opportunity to actually interview people that were in Hollywood and that were doing things that have been greenlit by Hollywood. And then the executive producers came and they shared exclusive stories with me about Diana Ross and, all of these amazing people.
Yeah.
And I had someone today, I checked my email. And I'm a late bloomer is why I'm going this way. I'm a late bloomer. And so being at 40, I'm just starting to scratch the surface. So I was checking my email today and there was a series of shows that it saw my coverage for the Hollywood shows that I covered and interviewed their panels for and their executive producers. And they're like, oh, we would love to bring you on. And we just feel like we need you,
Mm.
to interview our panel. And the crazy thing about it was they was like, oh, well, give us times that you're available because, and they said this, we know that you're booked and busy. That's what they said to me. And see, I don't know why people try to disarm you by giving you praise. I can't be disarmed that way. I'm still looking at the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It's not just me. Being an entrepreneur, I'm looking at the bottom line. So they say to me, so I wrote back, I said, well, how many panelists are we talking? And I said, well, what's your budget? Because in the previous interview, they said, well, we would like you to interview the panel. And if you care to advertise with us, or people that would want to advertise with us, we could send you a price list. So I said, well, how many? And they wrote me back. They said 7. I said, what's your budget for promotion? Oh, well, we're not in the position to pay for interviews right now. You wanted me to spend 7 hours of my life interviewing your people for free. And you know what the sad thing about it was? They were this. The other opportunity, and they didn't understand why Anyway, so that's kind of where my head is right now because I was furious.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, I was furious, but I ended that transmission. So, Mr. The Lion King, the American tour of The Lion King. I actually reached out to you because of The Lion King.
Mhm.
I saw a video on your social media, on your Instagram page, and you were like, people don't understand that in this production, we are literally on stage for almost every scene.
Yeah.
There is no, oh, well, break, and then 3 scenes later, you see us. No, and you went through about 9 changes of costuming. You were different animals, different people, different this, different that. And it just made me think because I interviewed Raymond Baynard, who
Mhm.
was in, yeah, isn't he? Oh God, let's not get started.
Ah.
Don't get me started. But and first of all, he doesn't interview a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I actually had journalists with famous publications write me and say, we've been trying to interview him, you bitch. And you got him. But he talked about the rigors. And again, 1 day off. And it's like what people don't understand as you were going through the costume changes. I was like, God, they don't understand this man is working for his life. Like he is working. And God forbid, like he had something happen. He said, I'm on stage, I'm tall, and I'm lifting people, and I'm all of these things. And I go over to the wings and I pull out a table and I pull my back. God forbid something happen.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't understand about that level of performance is that many of you perform injured.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have learned how to perform even being injured.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When I recorded my album in 2018 in Atlanta, I had an upper respiratory infection.
Mm.
I sang around it.
I know that wasn't fun, but go off.
No, but that album slayed.
I know that's right.
And then got leaked by a hater. Mm-hmm. Then got leaked, which forced me to go back into the studio with the 24 songs that I was going to release and sing 26 more with an upper respiratory infection. I tell you, I can't make this stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what got me was the changes.
Mm-hmm.
How can you take us through? Because I like when you speak too. You speak so well.
Mm-hmm.
And you take us, of course, can you take us through what it was like? This is a loaded question. So take us through your education of dance and then the audition process and the landing of The Lion King, because this is not your first role, is it?
No, yeah, no.
Exactly. So get it. You're my only interview today for that reason. Regale us. I don't care if this thing is 2 hours long. I want my duty is to show off my Black and Latin men. I interview women, but I want the world to know that I love this. He hasn't always loved me back, but I love this. So take us through dance as a child, because I want to just say it probably wasn't easy to dance the way you dance around normal.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I started singing. I loved singing, and my father, if you can think of a version of Joe Jackson with a little less, intensity, he was like, well, you need to learn how to dance and you need to be acting because you need to be able to pay your bills, So I got into dancing and I fell in love in the 4th grade. And it's funny because in 3rd grade, there's it's an illustrious program in Virginia. It's called the Old Donation Center School for the Gifted and Talented. Mouthful. We call it ODC. In 3rd grade, you're allowed to audition. And that program runs from 3rd grade to 8th grade. He would not let me audition. This is the same man who told me I needed to be doing everything, but was like, no, due to his own experience dancing, the community, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't get to go that year. I convinced my mom the next year and I said, listen, I know that I can, and I want to, and she allowed me to. So I went to that school all the way through 8th grade. And then in 8th grade, there was time to audition for the high school levels. There was this academy called Salem High School, which was a normal high school with a bit of a magnet program attached, which I was leaning more towards because, as you know, in this field, because it's so short-lived, your whole life becomes that field. So my whole life from grade 4 was, like you said, missing events. Then I didn't go to parties. I had rehearsed, so I couldn't play any of the sports because I had to go rehearse like my whole life. So I was leaning more toward that. And then there was this program called the Governor's School for the Arts, which was the program where if you wanted to have a career in this, you went to that program. I didn't want to go because I wanted to be quote unquote normal. And my mom bribed me with some Krispy Kreme donuts. And she said, you go to this audition, you can have a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts. And I said, okay. I got in, fell in love, did the 4 years there, knew that I wanted to spend my time in career dancing. So it's time to apply for colleges, audition for colleges. I auditioned for only 4 schools because I was clear. I've always been very clear. There was no point in me auditioning for 30 programs. I was like, I want to be the best in this field. I want to study with the best people to give me the things. So I only did audition for 4 programs. I got a full ride to every program but the one I wanted.
Oh.
And that's okay. That's okay. And I ended up taking the full ride. And that program that I didn't get a full ride to was to the Ailey Fordham Bachelor's in Fine Arts program. So, you know, Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater has a partnership with Fordham University in New York City, where dancers can come get their Bachelor's of Fine Arts and study their liberal arts at Fordham and do their dance credits at Ailey. So I didn't end up going. I went to the Boston Conservatory for a year. And that was a very interesting experience. To our conversation before, that was my first taste of racism.
Yeah.
And it wasn't blatant either. They just really wanted me to feel like I was a chosen one and that I was special, and that they were so surprised that someone could speak so well of my background and someone could, you know, do X, Y, and Z. So I'm sorry if you can hear that. My iPad is going off over there.
That's okay.
But yes, the experience was pretty rough there. As they wanted me to feel unique in regards to just being in the room, and I wasn't interested in that. And I didn't feel like I was challenged enough because they were okay with who I was coming into the program.
Yeah.
And that wasn't enough for me because I knew I wasn't yet who I needed to be to dominate this industry.
Yeah.
I left and I transferred to the Ailey Fordham Bachelor's of Fine Arts program. And did my 3 remaining years there. I got injured while I was in school, which is how I found the fitness route. But I did finish school. I went back, had to take a year off, went back. And while I was in school, I worked. You know, I was able to do Legally Blonde, the musical, Hairspray. One of my favorite credits is Radio City Christmas Spectacular. And then I decided after that chunk of time finishing school, year after, that I had missed the singing and acting component of my career. I was grateful to have done all those, like we just talked about it. I was fortunate to perform at Lincoln Center and Radio City Music Hall, and, you know, just some of the greatest theaters that New York and this country have to offer. And I was very, very grateful for that opportunity, but I knew I had more to say.
Yes.
And I knew that I was closing myself off by only allowing myself to speak through this one lens. So I found my way back to theater. I did this musical called Silhouette. I got a call about doing Pose on FX. So Ryan Jamal Swain he played the lead dancer on the show Pose, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And he had dance doubles. So I was one of his dance doubles for his dance scenes. And I also got to do a little bit of ensemble work and dance work in that show. And I auditioned for Lion King 3 times.
Yeah.
The audition process started in my college days, probably around sophomore, junior year. Made it through like 2 rounds and got cut from that audition. The second time, I got all the way through and it was down to 2 of us. Sean Aaron Carmen, who was a former principal with Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, was out here. And it was between he and I, and they gave it to Sean. I was much younger than him, which is fine. The third time the audition comes around, I'd settled into my life. I decided that I was going to continue to dance, but I was going to let it take a different, role in my life. And I was going to focus on the acting, and I finally started to see results in that way. So I was going to act and sing. I'm minding my business and I get the call, of course, hey, Marquise, we'd love to have you audition for The Lion King. I didn't think anything of it, because they do that. Even when there aren't jobs available in this industry, they reach out to you just so that they have you on the roster to keep you in the.
Yep.
And I was happy with where my life was going. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't respond to the email. I get another email the next day. Hey, we just want to know if you're going to be able to come. And if you're not going to be able to come, let us know why you cannot come. I said, oh, okay, they're serious this go.
Yeah.
This is real. Like,
Yeah.
So I said, okay, this is during the pandemic, mind you. So now we've gone, this is 3 years later for the final audition. So I'm thinking on it, and I responded and I said, okay, I'll attend the audition. They said, okay, great. So I come to the audition. They're sneaky. These people have seen me for years. They've seen me for years. They didn't even tell me that it was a callback audition. So usually what a Lion King audition is like is it's 1 to maybe 3 days, depending on who's in the room, how many people show up, how many people they want to see. They got through the preliminaries and just brought me in. So they're doing the final days of showing the numbers to everybody. And I walk in, and Marae, who I love, who is the dance supervisor for all of the Lion King shows, her and Celeste, these two beautiful African-American women, split that responsibility. But I come in and she goes, Marquise, you know it? You ready? You and come on in the front. I said, Marae. She said, you didn't get the videos? I said, no. She said, well, I know you know it. So quite literally. And we got through that whole audition that day, and I found out 2 days later that I had booked this job. So to your point about that, right? Divine timing and what is meant for you always comes, because I was very clear on what my trajectory was. Exactly. And I knew that I wasn't going to, I find in my experience that as an artist, sometimes we become so willing to be whatever we think everyone else needs us to be, that we lose who we are. And I knew I wasn't going to do that. Not that I'd done it before.
Yeah.
I said, I made the decision to see where my acting career was going to go. So I am going to focus on that.
Yeah.
Right. And they were clear in saying, but this time around, we see you.
Yeah. And
we want you in this space. So that's how I ended up landing this job. The funny thing is, Raymond Baynard, the track that I am, the bird soloist, the male soloist in the show, Raymond Baynard, that was his track before I got here. Yeah. But that's how it worked. And then I think I had 6 months. I was in New York at the time. I had 6 months to kind of pack my life up and figure it out. And ever since then, we've been out here on the road doing this show.
Wow, you said a mouthful.
I know.
No, and I asked you to get you speaking because I want everyone to know who's in front of them right now.
Yeah.
Because I want every young person watching to understand that we don't always get access to these types of people. We don't get access, and it's kind of funny because I'm a late bloomer. So I'm late with everything in my life, including having my very first boyfriend for the very first time. I'm turning 40. I'm late. So even he said, you got to keep going because of the people behind you, the people that you can't see.
Yes.
Ahead, and you don't know these babies that are going to come and be inspired by you. And this is my thing. This is his word, holding the space.
Yes.
Holding the space, and I asked you to go through that because clearly in your tale of your life and how things went, that was hard. It was hard. It was hard. And you're like, okay, so finally you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. That's exactly what happened to me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I left Instagram for 7 months.
Yeah.
With no intention to come back.
As a creator, I know that's a very big deal too.
Yes. Like what? But get this, I kept working. I was doing this. I was going in a different direction. And I didn't care who saw it because my attitude was, I made it today. give me 10 years. This thing will have millions of views because by then I will have etched my name into the pantheons of the earth and the sky.
And it,
Yeah,
yeah.
you see? But what people, the reason why I'm saying this is because people they don't see the grueling part. You've been going since 4th grade.
Yeah.
That doesn't leave a lot of time for partying. It doesn't leave a lot of time for romance.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave a lot of time for visiting with family. It doesn't leave a lot of time for a lot of things. And I'm going to ask you,
Sure.
because I don't usually do this, but I've been pondering this today because that email made me so upset. But I had to think about it because it's about the value when you're not valued and you give so much. So what Lion King, after Lion King, because you're doing this, what do you want to do after?
Yeah. So of course there's always a trajectory.
Yeah.
And it will run its course. My main goal that I want to make clear is that I never lost sight of what I said I was going to do.
Right.
So the goal is still to be an actor because the world has done a wonderful job at receiving my dancing abilities and even my singing abilities.
Yes.
I'm going to go back and really, really, my next step is to take on the principal leading acting role on the theater circuit and then make my way into television and film.
Yeah.
But even more importantly than that, because I know a lot of things will happen, I'm continuing to develop my business, is that I want for, as you continue to talk about, the young people to come up in the space, seeing that with all of the odds against you, that you will still be rewarded for doing the actual work, for believing in yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When the entire world is telling you to go one way, that you can still go the other way and be successful. That is like honestly above any actual physical career goal, what I hope to leave behind. But yeah, as far as professionally, the next step is stepping into the leading acting role that I know that I'm ready to do.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I told Raymond, I'm a shaman. I told Raymond, I looked at him as he sat before me and Spirit started speaking to me. And I told him, I said, in 2 years, you'll be acting. In 2 years, you'll be doing roles like SWAT and things like that.
Yeah.
He was so shocked by that. But I saw it clear as day for him.
Amazing.
Clear as day for him. And okay, we have a caliber of artist, actor, Black actor. Not everyone is in this category, though we respect everyone, but we have the Angela Bassett's.
Yeah.
We have the Lupita Nyong'os. We have the Gabrielle Unions. We have those that they didn't absolutely get just yeses right off the bat.
Not even close.
Right, but they fought. And not only do they fight, but they are then regaled by the community. I see that happening to you. I see it being a situation. God, I hate when I do this because it just takes me to another space. I see a dance program for children. I don't know if you've ever thought about that, but I mean, this is in addition to everything else you're doing. This is in addition to being on television. This is in addition to being an actor. This is in addition to winning a Tony. This is in addition to all of those things. I see a lot of work with children, Marquise. And I mean performance art, children. I see a lot of work with children. I'm actually looking at you in the realm of the spirit, and you're in class, and you have on this Black hoodie, and your hat is pulled backwards, and you're literally holding. And I mean, these kids are babies. Like these kids are babies, and you're there, and you're starting them out, and there's health, like happiness, and you own this like studio. It's like a dance space, and you're doing so much. But this dance space is not just dance. There's singing, there's acting, there's other things. It is the academy. Let's just call it what it is. The academy is designed to create the formidable performer in every area. That's what I see.
So I'm clearly, yeah, I mean, that really resonates. I have been developing a program for a very long time.
What?
Yes, I started. I've actually,
Wait. This is my first time talking to him. This is the first time.
yeah.
Wait. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Continue now.
No, you did that. You did that. Yeah.
I saw what I saw, and I've gotten confident with just saying what I see.
Yeah. It moves me. It moves me for sure, because first of all, I will start by saying my greatest inspiration artistically is Debbie Allen.
Yes. Oh my God.
Debbie Allen, to me, is the epitome of someone who does everything that she does well.
Yep.
But also constantly feeding industry back in the most beautiful, positive way. And the Debbie Allen Dance Academy is a pillar in the community. And every friend that I have who's gone through there is an exceptional performer in every realm. So I literally, not kidding, when I was 16, I started developing a program called Preteens with Passion. And I do it. And I go home to Virginia very often. I try to go every 6 months or so to teach a workshop that involves theater and dance and singing. And I want to develop it in a grander scheme of things when I can, because I do know that things like that take time and energy, and I'm not
money.
And we know, okay. And I mean, like, and not just, you know what I mean? Like, right, exactly. So we know that that will be something, like you said, down the line where I can truly nurture the program and develop these human beings, because that's something I don't play with either. I think there's a severe lack of mentorship in this industry.
Yes.
As you know, I know a ton of lovely household names in this industry who I adore as people, but also, in my opinion, drop the ball in the mentorship realm. So when I do decide to develop these beautiful human beings, I want to be in their lives for the development.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're gonna have the money, the space, the time, and the opportunity to do it. It's actually your calling. Like, and it's kind of funny because your career is going to be quite beautiful and meritorious, but your career is what's going to fund it.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be funded. So you keep dancing, you keep singing, you keep acting, because that's what's going to fund your heart's work. You know, this is, oh, well, I just said what I saw. And I do that a lot, but you shocked me. You've been since 16. You're really serious about it. Like, that was just, I wasn't expecting that, but that's just really, So now I have to take you back. Are you an only child?
I am.
Really? So,
yeah, I'm my mother's only child. Previous to my mother and father, my father has, I believe, 6 or 7 children.
Right.
Who I talk to them all, but they're a lot older than I am. So even in that regard, I grew up on my own. Yeah.
Wow, you're an only child. You know, like, because I'm the oldest of 4 children.
Okay.
But mental illness plagued my family. My grandmother's right now writing a book about it, because it plagued the family so deeply. My aunts, my mother, even on my father's side, just mental illness. And then it passed to me. I got bipolar disorder, type 1. I got PTSD and acute anxiety disorder. I had to medically withdraw from college 22 years ago.
Wow.
And, but even in that, I realized that the path that I was on wasn't the path that the divine wanted for me.
Yeah.
I'm living in my purpose now. It took me a long time because I had a lot to figure out. There's the whole psychology piece. I've had a therapist and psychiatrist 16 years now. I've had therapy 16 years now. I don't have many manic days. I haven't been hospitalized. It took a long time for me to get that piece together, because that piece was hindering the financial piece for me to go. I had record contracts offered. I had, modeling contracts offered, and I could not take any of them. And it just was like, every time I got closer to the dream, closer to what I saw as the epitome of what I wanted to do, I would get sick. And it was because I was coming from a place of great pain. was coming from a place of great pain. As far as my siblings, I have 3 siblings and they didn't make it out, Marquise. They didn't make it out. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. I've tried to help them, but like I said, in order to be someone or do something different than what you've seen and what you've always done, you have to sit down, and there's this word again, you have to be mentored and you have to learn a new way.
Yes.
I was willing to do that. I have a lot of mentors that shaped this mighty mind of mine. And my sisters and brothers, though we're all just 2 years apart, then 4 years, then 6 years, like that. And it just didn't work. And their mental illnesses were just so consuming. Like me, my grandmother calls me the Phoenix. My boyfriend calls me the Phoenix. A lot of people that know me call me the Phoenix because I've burst into flames several times and reinvented myself. When I thought I had nothing left, I reinvented myself. But I said all of that to say it is important to hold the space.
Yes.
You got to hold the space. I was looking at Hope Giselle today, and she was up there talking on a podcast, and she was giving it to those cishet men. She was giving it to them. And I was just like, and I said to her, Queen, just hold the space. Like people don't understand, because even my grandmother said this to me yesterday, because yesterday was one of those days, meltdown, crying,
Absolutely.
upset. I have those days, and I don't mind saying that, because people need to understand this thing that you're doing, this thing that I'm doing. There's really no blueprint. We're doing it as we go. And we're picking up and we're using all of these tools and doing all of these things. And we're doing this and doing that. It's a constant dance. It's a constant dance. And sometimes there's going to be missteps. But what I've learned, even my boyfriend says this to me, because my boyfriend is a psychologist. I didn't even plan that. I've known him 20 years.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't plan it. I've known him 20 years. But he says he talks a lot about that. He tells me, because, I was in school to be a veterinarian, and he tells me, he says, you're still a doctor. You just can't get over the fact that it looks different to you than what you wanted it to look. You wanted the white coat. You wanted the cold room. You wanted people bringing you hamsters and turtles and things like that. He says, and humans are part of the animal kingdom, and we're the most primal. And you work on the most primal animals on the planet, And I had to think about that. Yeah. But, it's not easy, Marquise. It's not easy. And for every single one of us that gets ahead, there's 100 of us that are left behind. And that's why I agree with you. Mentoring is so important. But guess what? You can't mentor everybody.
I know.
Because I did a TikTok before this. That jealousy and that envy piece in your own people.
I know.
I try not to go there that often, but I would be remiss if I didn't. I got so many fingers pointed at my back. Like I said, my album was leaked. I have this celebrity that has for 16 years tried to annihilate me. And I'm still here doing what I'm doing. And I'm still everything that they wish that they were and everything that they're not. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's been tough. It was already tough to do it, but then add in the interference. But it made me a formidable creature. Like, I own my wings. They're mine. When I flame on and the fires protect me now, it's mine.
Absolutely.
It's what happens after you own something. And there's a confidence. There's just a certain confidence that comes with knowing that you're the right one for the job. And you got the Lion King because even though you were putting your life and setting it up, you were the right one for the job. And I said, what's so crazy? I said this to one of my babies. I have a baby that I'm mentoring, but he's also like my son. And he's a singer. He's a pop singer. And he recently got a call to do an interview for a major television show. And he called me because he calls me mom and dad. He's two-spirited. So he's like, that was the quickest audition I've ever done. I don't know what that means. They saw me. They said that they were done for the day. It was virtual. They saw him they said they were done for the day, but told him, oh, hold on. We'll see if they'll see you. And they saw him. And he said, I sang 2 songs and they were like, okay, that's it. thank you. If we are interested, and they use those words, we'll look you up. And he said, you know, I don't know what to take that. And he was devastated. And I said to him, I said, listen here. I said, because he asked, should he do the interview? I told him yes. So when he came to me with that, and he's like, it was so quick, I said, listen, you didn't do the interview for the yes. You did the interview to get used to interviewing and auditioning. And I said to him, the more you audition, the more they see you. The more they see you, the more they're familiarized with what you can do. The more, yes, the more they're familiarized with what you can do, the likely they are to call on you because they've seen you for, like you said, years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I didn't even plan my relationship to be that way either, but I chose someone to be my partner whom I had known for years.
Yeah.
20 years. I promoted one from within. He always loved me, but it was like relationship, that rapport is what was needed.
Yeah.
Even in this world of entertainment, you know, when you audition, they're like, you want the people seeing you, casting directors to call you by first name. Oh, okay, yeah, we know that, because they know what you bring. They know what you bring. You know, I walked away from a very lucrative record deal because I wanted to own my intellectual property. As we both know, I create a lot of intellectual property. It's all original, it's mine, and I want to own it. Like I said, it's not for today, it's for 10 years from now, when it's 6 and 7 figures on every video, you know? So I walked away from that, and they said, oh, you're crazy, and oh, you'll never make it, you'll never be, you'll never do. And there was a long time I didn't think I would.
Yeah.
But like you said, the divine said to me, oh, we're familiar with your talent. If you can't come, tell us why. And then I realized, okay, I need to do this. And that's what happened for me. I turned on a camera again after a hiatus, because I started on YouTube singing covers, and I had opera singers from the Met saying to me, you do things that we've studied 4 years to learn how to do. The inflections in your voice, your tonation and your placement, your diction and your articulation. Like they're like, we learned 4 years, studied 4 years to do what you're doing naturally. And I'm like, this is just what I know to do. This is just what comes. This is how it is. And, you know, my boyfriend said to me, he said, you keep discrediting your homeschooling. He said, you've been homeschooled for 20 years. What I'm saying is the actual work done. It will make room for you, unlike anything else can. The actual work.
But you're digging into a can of worms, because
I feel it. That's why I'm going that way.
I mean, so I take pride in saying that I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
Like I wear that with like a badge of honor. Now, I do think there's a bit of a toxic understanding of the grinding mentality today, because as you said, mental health is serious and we have to know when to take a step back and all of that. But what I'm saying is anything that I've gotten is not out of luck.
Yeah.
It's because at the very least, I knew who I was and I set myself up to be received, you know? But in today's society, when we value the opinions of others more heavily than ever, because we're being placed under an electronic microscope and everyone is, you know, wanting to look like they're doing so much, that the actual work is being neglected, you know. And there's so many of my, and I have friends, again, that you've interviewed that you know, who I love, who we do similar things, and we have very different approaches on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I understand when it comes to singing that I could go and do a whole bunch of riff challenges and people would come and engage. And I understand that if I wanted to promote my physical body in a way of my fitness brand, that I could do that too. But that's not what resonates with me, because the true work is me leaving the imprint long-term. The true work for me is for whatever I do, for you to know Marquise has done it with quality. I believe in what he's going to put out. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that overall, my hope, my desire for my people in particular, but the community and the globe in general, is to allow these social media platforms to reflect the work that you actually do.
But you know what? You know what I hear? It's a word that I use very often. It's why I don't, my friend this morning, he's a celebrity eyewear designer. He's worked with everyone, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, going on tour with them. He does everything and he always tries to get me to go places and I don't go. And he gets upset with me, but it ties into this. What I hear you saying is I'm doing the work, but I value my reputation.
Yes. Yeah.
I value my reputation because I built it.
Yes.
I can't be seen with anyone and everyone because get this, these friends, they're new to me. They're new to me. I don't know everything you've done in your life. And I don't know what my star being hitched to your star and then finding out about a scandal could do to me.
Sure.
I'm that anal about my brand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hitch my wagon to people because, people make mistakes, but there is like a reputation will take you a lifetime to create. And in seconds, you can destroy.
No. As sad as that is, right? That's true.
In seconds, milliseconds, you can destroy it. And I love my friends because they're new to me. I love them. But I need them to also recognize how I got here. How? Because they know. They've seen me come up. They've seen me grind for 7 years now to look like this, sound like this, and be this poise. Just for this. But I've been in entertainment for 20 years.
Right. Right.
Behind, not getting laurels, not getting awards, being beat down and having to say to them, I'm not going to go that way because that's toxic. And I don't know how you look at me, but I value myself more than that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. Oh, you're a fool. Oh, so wait, you actually did want me, but you're gonna belittle me while I'm here. But then when I go to walk away, oh, where are you going? I don't have time. I don't have time. But I've built my life to be a certain way because he was saying to me today, he was like, you don't go out. I want you to come next month to, these different things. And he invited me outside of the country. And, and he's been in the industry a long time, 14 years. He has his establishment. But,
yeah.
But this is the thing. I'm establishing mine. I cannot afford to misstep right now.
Come on.
I can't afford to misstep.
Yes.
I can't. I'm the director. I'm the talent. I'm the business partner. I'm everything. I'm the choreographer. I'm the writer. I'm everything in this business right now. I cannot afford, except the doctor, except the accountant and the lawyer. I have that.
Listen. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've had some celebrities try to steal trademarks. They didn't realize it was a trademark. They know now. Let's just leave it like that. They know now. If they didn't know me before, and they should have, and this was the thing, because who did it should have known me, because they surround themselves with gay guys. Should have known me. Sure, somebody said, bitch, she's on, you can't do this. She tried, she failed. But reputation, I don't want to and I said this today too. I'm 40 years old. I should be serious now.
Yeah.
I should. I shouldn't be clubbing and partying and this and that. And I'm 40. I should be focused on my bag and retirement because that's coming.
Sure.
And I started late. So I got to be about every single coin I make so that I don't have to stay past my prime.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So they and some of my friends don't get that. They don't get that. I'm going on my first vacation to New York City, mind you, for my birthday to be with my boyfriend. I haven't seen my boyfriend in 20 years.
Wow.
We were just friends. We communicated via Facebook and FaceTime and all of these things because we were friends. But I met him 20 years ago. It was love at first sight. And he gets mad at me when I say this. But I ran from him because I knew I needed to add value to my life. I didn't want to belong to any man.
Hello.
I needed to add value. And it took me this long to do that. And now he's got his and I've got mine. So it makes for a very interesting dance now. Fire dance. It makes for an interesting dance now. And he respects me. He's like, oh, I talked to him before this. He's like, all right, you gotta go. I know, and then he's like, and he's in ministry. He's in ministry. So he sermons and traveling and doing all of these things. And then he has all of these things on the side like this, like we are definitely a powerful couple. I'm not gonna say power couple. We are a powerful couple.
Beautiful.
But literally in September, it'll be the first time I have embraced him in 20 years. And I told him I'm gonna cry. And
of course.
He was like, so am I. And I was like, but I want to get this on film. But honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I think I'm just gonna have to accept that moment and live in that moment.
Like it's yours. I feel like that's a very personal moment.
It is. And then do all the other things. But I have to take all my laptops. I have multiples to run this business. I have to take all my laptops. I got to take all my phones. I got to do all that. And I love him because he said to me, he was like, really? You vacation? Can we stop using this word? You're coming to visit. And I'm like, but he knows me.
Yeah.
He knows me. And he knows how important it was for me to add value to my name.
Yeah.
And this goes for especially entertainers. We're always trying to do that. We don't want people to misrepresent our talent, misrepresent who we are and what we stand for. And I get it. When I was first coming out the gate as the Queen Shade, listen, I know. When I first came out, I was very raw. And I talked about what I knew. I talked about more than I should have.
Sure.
I did. I did it through subliminals though. But I talked about, I don't go up to the room. I don't bend over for a part. I'm not. In many ways to make it in this business. That's not one of them.
Sure.
Me. I talked about all of that stuff. And then something happened. I stopped being angry and I realized that I had an opportunity to teach. And that was something I always wanted to do. Lecture. That was something that it just always, because it comes very easily to me.
Yeah.
Always. So tell us, in The Lion King, please name the 9. How many changes is there that you do?
Oh gosh, let's walk through them.
Yeah.
There's so much information that I like.
Yep.
For the day-to-day to survive, right? Just because Circle of Life happens. So that's when I'm in the bird costume that people see. And then after Circle of Life, there's Grassland. So there's a change right there. After that, we come back, Just Can't Wait to Be King. That's the 3rd change. 4th change, we are hyenas for Be Prepared. Then there's a stampede that happens. So there's a change right there. After that, I go into my buzzard change where I do a bird solo dance, intermission, back into the bird solo costume. I mean, not the bird solo, the buzzard costume. Then after that, I change into what we call a mud cloth costume for the West African dance scene. That's going to happen. I stay in that costume for a while. I change for the He Lives in You reprise, which is a very colorful section. Then we're back into the hyenas. And then after that, I'm back into the bird costume for the finale.
Oh my God. 11 costume change. Are you shitting me? My grandmother said this. And so did my boyfriend. He was like, you got to be an Olympian. You have to be an Olympian. You have to be. To really conditioning wise. And how long do you get to change?
Okay, so there are some moments where there is a good amount of time, right? I would say there, like the change specifically that comes to mind is the be prepared moment after Just Can't Wait to Be King. We probably have about a good 6 minutes, but that is the only time. The quickest change in the show is 45 seconds after the hyena number into the finale. And mind you, we just talked about costumes, but we didn't incorporate that there's makeup happening
Yes.
same time.
Yes.
So while I'm changing, you have people stamping things on my face, makeup artists and real makeup artists at that, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not like they're just giving a quick 1-2. They've had to learn how to be really efficient in those 45 seconds as well.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I love? It takes a village.
Truly, truly.
But look at this. Everybody in that village is a master.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
But you know, and just a nugget of what we're touching on. We talk about the journey to get to the Lion King, how it wasn't my first job, blah, blah, blah. And that's typically everybody's experience.
Yeah.
What you just said, because of the impact that the show has, because it takes a village, they can't take you until you have truly figured out, done the things, and know who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you are absolutely right. Everyone here is at the peak and the height of what it is they need to do, or else the show cannot run.
Yeah. They want you at a, listen, it was the same way in fashion. You don't book the girl that just came out, the new model. When you want that.
I'm still working.
Yeah, listen, and she will for the next 20, 30 years. She will, because Carmen Delareyvicek is in her 80s. Right. Okay, right. Like Pat Cleveland,
right?
They're still working. They're still working. Yes. Tyra came out of retirement and is Banks. Like, but what I'm saying is, like, and I loved, because I always loved the Victoria's Secret girls. I met a few of them in Paris when I was there. That was like the highlight. You know, I sat on the floor in Colette before they closed that store in Paris, and literally sat on the floor. And I talked to supermodels, literally, like Carmen, what was her name? No, Carolina Korkova.
Okay.
Yeah, sat and talked to her in the middle of Colette, all these cameras, all these filming, like, and she sat down on the floor with me and she's like, "You're new to Paris?" And I'm like, "Yes, I came here to model." And she sat and she autographed and we talked, and it was an amazing opportunity. Yeah. And I in my career, I've had amazing opportunities like that.
Yes.
But it is, like you said, you gotta be at a certain point. They don't want you. Like my producer is now in her 30s. Before she was 30 years old, the industry wouldn't take her seriously, because it was literally an unspoken rule that producers to be taken seriously had to be in their 30s. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. Everyone on that damn stage has to perform at peak high proficiency. That is so great. That is so crazy. You're getting your faces like, so, okay. So here's a question, because I know what it's like for makeup for me. So do they take things off or do they layer?
So it depends on who you are in the show, right? So our makeup artists are phenomenal. When you have your Simbas and your Nalas and your Zazus, because they get to stay in their makeup the whole show. Yeah. And it's like a full 45-minute hour beat that they have to do. Woo! Yes, for those of us who are in and out of different costumes, it's individual to the person and their skin needs, because we have to do it so often. Yeah. But layering absolutely does happen. And the trouble that you run into, which you know, is when you're taking it off, you take everything off. So you have to reapply everything every time. So there's plenty of layering happening, trying new things. It's not a fixed formula either, which I like people to know, is because the show has been running for 20 years. This tour in particular has been running for 20 years. Yeah. But we're always working to try to do something better and figure it out. So my skin can't be treated the way that Ray's skin was treated. We're just not, we're not the same people. So yeah, there are several steps.
Honestly, I'm glad I went the route that I did, because I don't think I would have had the stamina.
I think you would have. I think you killed it, but I think you would have had the stamina. I do.
What's so crazy? And a lot of people do, but let me see. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? I think in seeing so much, and I had to be to myself everything. That was the thing. So, like that's why I texted you, because I forgot to confirm yesterday. And I usually do the night before. So that's why I was texting you like, oh, I need to confirm. I'm so sorry. I'm confirming you now. Please let me know. All right. So I confirmed because literally I have to get ready. I start 2 hours before I call our interview. 2 hours.
Yeah. I love that you're saying that.
Yeah. I have to, for this face, I have to, and get it. I do the same thing every time. I'm not one of those people that does a lot of craziness to her face. No, but like people don't understand. Like, and I've had people help me, tell me things. Like the makeup that I'm wearing right now is high definition because I'm always under lights. So I don't damage my skin doing this every single day because I am booked every single day for the next 3 weeks.
Which is amazing. I know when I was talking to you and I was trying to plan it, I was like, I'm happy that this is the issue for you.
Mondays are my day off, but get this, I know better because when you have the talent and the talent is only able to get this, and I know how you dance and work, I'm like, before I know, this man could be off somewhere else. Like I gotta, but that's what that Monday is, because my grandmother gets mad because she says, you work so hard, but I leave Monday for that situation to happen because, this is history. This is history in the making. It is for us to sit here and talk. And I'm already an internet celebrity. They know me, but I'm getting ready to step off the internet. We're gonna step out into real time, and it's like, this is a big thing. And then this is another thing. All of you're already peaking and doing all of these things, and you're going to go off to do X, Y, and Z, and then be these huge Hollywood successes and world dominators. And it's like, we shared space before.
Yes.
And people don't understand that, like there's a lot. There's a lot.
Absolutely.
And my thing is, and I wasn't treated that way. So people didn't treat me like, oh, we know that she'll become something one day. It was, oh, write her off. And then, but I'm a Libra. It's a mistake to underestimate me.
I'm a Libra, so.
Yeah. What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, I love that sign too. I love that sign. I think I'm an Aquarius moon. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an Aquarius moon. I love that. But you guys, the only thing that scares me about you guys.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. The only thing, because you're all very talented, the only thing that super duper scares me about you, Aquarius, because I'm going through it right now with an Aquarius buddy of mine. He hasn't surfaced. I'm not going to talk about him too long because I'll cry. But you mofos can disappear. Y'all know how to be by yourself. I want to be alone. And y'all mean it. And my thing is, I'm thinking, okay, you want to be alone, but I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna drop off your food, I'm gonna drop off. Nah, I want to be alone. And y'all, next thing I know, y'all in Uganda somewhere. And I'm like, you didn't even tell me you were going. Like, I'm worried. Like,
yes. No, that I think that is a true, I will say, in the way that I navigate the energy.
Yeah.
Everyone in my life who is truly in my life will always know where I am.
Yeah.
I protect my space in the sense of me saying, all right, I need a minute.
Yeah.
But you'll always know where I am and that I'm okay. That's how I navigate as a person. But that energy is true. We do, because there's so much. I find that Aquarians, at least Marquise, have a naturally very giving spirit.
Yeah, everyone I know.
My purpose on this planet is to give. And it's funny because there have been so many conversations throughout my career and my life that people have said, you got to create boundaries, you got to take it back. But what people don't understand for people like us is that when I'm not able to give, it actually hurts me.
It hurts.
Suppressing that does not work.
Yeah.
So I do create a good amount of space. I admire you because you're like, I don't really vacation. I do.
I'm glad to hear this. Like, I'm glad to hear this because my God. So tell me some of the places you've been recently.
Okay. I haven't gotten out of the country in a while.
Well, because of COVID.
And because another thing about this job and the way that it works, you know that this job doesn't end. Like the contract is ongoing.
Yeah.
But also for you to take vacation time, that has to mean that everyone else in your department is there. So of the 6 male dancers in the show,
Yeah.
not vacation together at the same time.
Oh.
So right now, I don't know why that is, but everyone's getting married right now. You know what I mean? Everyone, not necessarily in the cast, but in our lives. People are getting married and things. It's happening.
Raymond Baynard said the same thing.
You know, yeah, everyone's getting married right now. You know, another thing that's happening is that people are buying homes and there's a lot of in and out of the show for people to make personal development. So getting time away for me to travel abroad hasn't really happened. I'm really in December, I'm going to Europe for the first time. For me, I'm very excited.
Yes. What part?
We're gonna do Italy. I don't know where, don't get me wrong. I'm going for Paris. Versailles is my dream. You know, the history of ballet and the Palace of Versailles is major to me, so I want to go and experience time there. And then I'll be in London, where my best friend is from, so I'm gonna do that for a good 7 days. And take that off. But I've been doing a lot of travel around the country, and I've been trying to vacation a lot when I'm not with the show, because even when the show is there, it's like but I've actually thoroughly enjoyed places that everyone else would be like, what? Like Oklahoma City, be like, what in the world, right? But I'm finding that there really are places in this country that are still people-based and slow, and you know, and our industries don't really function in places like that, so we don't get to see them often. But it's nice to see that there really are places in America where they care about the people and where they take time to stop and slow down. I've just found that I'm really, when I do buy a home here, it will have to be in some off the wall place. Like
Colorado.
I love Colorado. It's crazy. My dream is to move to Colorado.
I told you, I'm a shaman. I hear things. As soon as you were speaking, Spirit said to me, he's gonna buy a home in Colorado. Like, I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. So imagine being an entertainer with all, you know how they say emotions, we have them all. And then imagine being a shaman on top of it. Yes, I got a lot going on with me.
Yo, that is so wild. I was literally looking for the picture, but I have a folder of, you know, like I have dream boards and everything, but because I'm on the road, I have digital dream boards, and all the homes are in Colorado on my vision.
Yeah, that's where you're going to buy your home. You are witnessing the splendor of this, which is called the empire of the Queen of Shade. This is what allows me to do my work so it looks effortless. I am being helped, okay? I am being helped. But it's just like, oh, but oh my God, I can't wait to go back to Paris. Paris is where I really belong. I left my heart before coming back. I literally buried my heart symbolically, buried my heart and said, I'm gonna be back for you. It's been 17 years, but I am going back, and I actually want to live there, but I don't just want to live there exclusively anymore. I was going to go and disappear, but the Spirit worked on me and was like, you are needed everywhere.
Yeah. Especially here. Hello.
Yes. So I'm moving out of this place into the center of the city, because I want to walk everywhere. So there, and then I have to set up my headquarters and do that. So I'll be based in Philly. My man will still be in New York, but I told him, I said, baby, us traveling and meeting won't be a problem. It's rich people problems. We can travel wherever, we can meet wherever, like it doesn't matter. So my friend, like I said, my celebrity friend, I'm calling his name Stevie Boy. He was he was throwing shots at me today, like, how you gonna meet your boyfriend? You don't never come out. You won't even come down the road to Baltimore to see me. Yeah, he was throwing shots at me, but I do travel when I'm not working, but I'm working all the time.
You know, but I'm loving, because you know what I love most about when people feel like they're doing interviews and things, they feel like it's one-sided.
Yeah.
Interviews or anything. And what I love is that there's so much that you can gain and take, like both of us back and forth. But one of the major things that you said that people don't think about, even my castmates, right? Because they're gonna kill me. But I'm typically one of the first people there and one of the last people to leave.
Ask people to leave.
And on a 2-show day, every Saturday and Sunday, we have 2 shows,
Yeah.
right? I have to physically start moving my body in the way that it is required an hour before the show.
Woof.
Before I start the hour before the show. So, the show starts, if it's a 2-show day, it either starts at 2 p.m. or 1.
Yeah.
Right? On Sundays it's 1, Saturdays it's 2.
Yeah.
So that requires me to get there at the very earliest, or latest rather, at 1. I have to cover up tattoos. I have tattoos, and the makeup has to set.
Yep.
So that's additional 30 minutes before I start warming up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that happens. Then, okay, I'm warm. I'm gotten ready. I'm seeing the PT if she's available. We do the show. In between the shows, if the show runs about 3 hours. So break is at 5 o'clock. The next show starts at 7:30. 7 o'clock is the half hour. So that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right? I still have to cool down from that show. So that's another 45 minutes to take care of my body, because we're dancing on a steel stage. People don't realize that either. That is steel.
Woo!
Right. So I have to cool down my body.
Joints. Oh my God. People they don't understand.
And they just don't know, and it's like, even the people in the cast, let's go grab a bite, or so-and-so's birthday. And I support my people, but I said, I'm going to be late because I have to do my cool down.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes now, right? We're now at 5:45. Then I'm going to go get some food. By the time I get some food, pay the bill, whatever, or come home and cook, it's every bit of 6:45, and it's time to be back to warm up and do it again for the 7:30 show. And then after, so when you say you're always working, but this is the work that I'm saying, for you to be at such level, to make sure that this instrument is taken care of, to know that I can pop in and pop out to do different gigs. And not only that, but to wake up and enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely don't know how some of my colleagues, they're phenomenal. And they can just deal with the aches and pains, and they're just like, oh, I'll go to sleep and I'll figure it out tomorrow. I have to be proactive and before making sure.
Yeah, you got to roll them out.
Yes, that I wake up the next day and that I can, back to the people, be at my optimal self, despite how tired I am, because I know that show may influence the career choice of somebody in the audience.
You know what? And it will, and it does.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing this for a very long time. And so will you.
I could have told you that you were going to do this for a long time.
Like
your prime is going to be for a while now.
You know what it was for years. For years, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a shitload of money, and then I'm going to run away to a beach and cry. That was always my thing. I'm going to cry for all the years of pain and suffering and this and that. But no, I'm going to be doing this. And you know what the crazy thing is, my boyfriend was talking about it. He was actually looking at my statistics of what I do and my margin of error. And he says, and he was telling me, he was like, your margin of error is lower than 15%. He's like, do you know that's unheard of? He's like, you don't make mistakes. You don't. At this level, you don't. And I'm just like, and he's like, because, and I'm like, because I do it like this, like every day. He's right. I don't have off days. Right now, mind you, I call myself, I have 2 phones because they're both for work, content.
Right.
So I have this phone for TikTok, and I said to myself, now mind you, I made 6 TikTok videos today. I said I wasn't gonna make any, but I did. I did anyway, because this was a new outfit. I had to document it.
Okay.
Like I'm doing so much. There's a lot. I'm the fashion editor. I'm this, I'm that. I had to document the look. So I did about 6 videos like that, but there are 171 TikTok videos that I have yet to release.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, it's to the point where my phone is like, bitch, you better release them because I can't hold anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, somewhere between tonight and tomorrow, I'll just throw out 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But even in the videos, I've been doing it so long.
But you're intentional though. Yeah. And I really do pick that up. Yeah, because that's the other, in a world where, content and creation, like, I understand, but putting out like bottomless content of the same nothing.
Right.
And I only mean that, and I only mean nothing because I don't want to disrespect anybody's thing. I mean
Right.
nothing that means anything to you.
Right.
Nothing that, you know, is influential for you doesn't serve anyone.
Right.
And the understanding, right? Because you have created this really beautiful brand and it's very clear of what it is and what it does.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't even make sense to me, right? For you to be someone who's like, I'm gonna just put all this out for some likes, because people,
I can't. You're trying to give me heart palpitations.
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
yes.
I want us to also value as a business owner, right? Because we like, you know, with TFC training, I'm very clear. And my own business, Marquise Hitchcock is a brand. Like those are two things that I get.
Yeah.
Likes don't mean that people are actually engaged with what it is that you do or who you are. Likes don't pay your bills per se.
No,
You know,
you're right. You're right. You don't have to say per se. They don't.
you know,
They don't.
so I need, this is what I mean. You're intentional because everything that you do put out does absolutely not only reinforce your brand, but makes a difference in the life of someone else. And that's what I think we need to get back to, because these are wonderful tools.
Yeah.
These are wonderful tools, but I worry when we get so caught up in the likes of other people, you've already lost.
Yeah, you lost yourself in that, because you go back to how I started. You go to people pleasing. And you can't people please. Get this, it's not the likes. Like, because I disappeared from Instagram, and I mean before they saw me every day. So now that I'm back on Instagram and I'm only promoting this, my likes are not through the roof like they used to be. I used to get like 60, 70,000 likes on one video, but that was when I was performing. I was actually giving the words and what was said to me by spirit. But do you know I did that for 6 years and didn't make a dime?
Right.
Okay. But get this, I held on to my content. Every single video is an excerpt in a book now. Paperback, hard copy, audio book, affirmation books. Come on. There's so many different streams of income that I have in my lap. Yeah. And I worked hard to get there. Everything that I do. That's why I said, you know, even get this, I send everybody a talent clearance form. I don't know if you sent me yours back, but you have to.
I did, I promise.
Okay, I'll check. No, but this is the thing, because this is the thing. This platform was the first time I got over my fear of collaboration, because coming from the old industry, I didn't want to collaborate because people fall out with you, and the next thing you know, you're in court fighting over who did this and who did that. So I said, I'm just going to avoid all of that. But this was my journey, because the divine was letting me know, and spirit was letting me know, you need to collaborate. So what I'm doing is, and even when I was talking to my lawyer and talking to other people in Hollywood about the talent clearance form, and they were like, are you sure you want to give away that much, you know, ownership? And I'm like, yes, because this is a collaboration. See, I'm doing things, and that's another thing. These people see me, but I'm doing things differently. I'm changing the narrative of how we do things. Yeah. See, my attitude was this is a collaboration, whether it's on the internet, whether it's in a book, whether it's nothing. If this makes money, we split it 50-50 because we collaborated. I'm about putting the wealth back into our pockets. And it's not the wealth of today, it's the wealth 5 years from now, where you get a check from the Queen of Shade and you didn't even really need it. But here's this 6-figure coin. And you're like, oh yeah, I did do that interview with her. She used it in a book. And oh yeah, this is my cut.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I'm about. That is who I am, because I got passed over so many times by people who were not that way. So I said, when I'm giving my shot, I'm going to be different. And that's what I did. And my shot wasn't even handed to me. I had to create it. So I put all those things into my spiritual, you know, cauldron, because, you know, shaman, they want to call us witch doctors. So I put all my stuff into my cauldron and made this thing. And it is what it is now. But, you know, I do recognize that there will be more time, because I said this to my grandmother about a month ago. I said to her, just promise me that there will be something left for me.
Mm,
I said, because I give and I give and I give.
come on.
And I said, I'm giving out of myself. And I looked at her because I believe her words. So I need, even if it was a lie, I needed her to tell it to me. But my grandmother's the type of woman where she won't lie to me. So I said to her, I said, tell me that there'll be something left for me. And she looked at me, she said, there'll be more than enough left for you. She said, do you not know who you are and what you do?
Come on.
Like, she talks to me like that. And sometimes it's not that I forget. Sometimes I look at my bank account and I'm like, woo, well, that bank account is shady. Okay.
Can be.
Yes, that bank account is the real queen of shade. Because I'm like, girl, like, you know, like people don't understand. We like, and get this, we as entertainers, we give the masses the best years of our lives. And then we retire because we can no longer do this. And then how are we supposed to take care of ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
We were great and we were grand while we were doing it. You loved us. But now that we are not that, or we have a twinkle of a crow's foot on the side of our face, and it's not youth and beauty, they're done with us. I've created a brand that I will be able to work, like literally I'll be able to work for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
I literally told my grandmother, I said, I'll be 40 this year. At about 47, I'm going to swap I'm going to wear all white wigs. All white wigs, like Storm. I'm going to wear all white wigs.
I love it.
And that's going to be, and I'm going to play with the hair and do all this stuff, but they're going to be all white because I earned it. I earned it. I've been grinding 20 plus years and dealing with mental illness and getting that component under control.
Absolutely.
I don't have time to play around. Like that's what's so funny, even with my boyfriend, like he literally, I never had a boyfriend before. I had plenty of situationships, plenty of sexual escapades, but no boyfriend. Couldn't close the deal. And I couldn't close the deal because I knew I loved him. I knew I loved him. I tried, and I talked to him at night, and we were crying at each other, and I was like, I tried to move on. I tried to make it work with other people. They weren't it. So then I doubled back. And it just was like, even with him, he's like, we can make this whatever we want it to be. But he's a college graduate. I'm the only one that don't have the degree. Homeschool, honey, homeschool. 20 years of homeschool, you know? But it's just, I love, because he respects me, and he respects what I do. He respects what I do so much. Like even before we got together, and we got together the last day of Pride Month too. I was like, and I said that to him, I'm like, look at this. This is, I said, you can't make these things up. Like you can't make these things up. That's why I know Spirit is in my life. Spirit lets me, like leads me and guides me, and I move. And the way that I'm being led is I'm being led for the big stage. I'm being led to the big stage. I'm being led to the name and lights, Ziegfeld Folly type shit. You know, I'm being led to that. But it's a fight.
It is.
It's a fight. But I'm prepared. I'm prepared.
Absolutely. I mean, like people don't even talk, you know, another Titan. Yeah. I think it's interesting that, well, we know as theater lovers and goers know, but people think that Viola blew up from
Help, the movie.
Well, even, but people really give her the credit for help me, the show How to Get Away with
Murder.
Right, and people are like, oh, but that put Viola Davis on the map, and they're not wrong, right? They're not wrong, but people forget that Viola Davis was a Broadway sensation, and before she was a Broadway sensation, she was a struggling Broadway theater actress.
Yeah.
And people talk about, you know, people think she was Viola Davis, she must have gone in. There were roles that people have asked. They were like, so if you got a role that you didn't like, did you turn it down until something came? Like, were you that intentional? She said, I had bills to pay. I wanted to be an actress.
Yep.
So I needed to go in. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, to your point of being a late bloomer, right? All of this work that you've done leading up, and yeah, there will be, I promise, there'll be a day where you wake up and it's boom, and everyone's, oh my God, Queen of Shade, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, like you came up yesterday, overnight.
Right.
But you know what? In that moment, you get to sigh,
Yeah.
go, and say, but all the work that I did,
Oh.
it's okay. All of this, we can have this moment. We can let it be. Billy Porter is another one. I love that now. Everyone's like, Billy Porter from Pose. I'm like, superstar, Broadway royalty, royalty.
Let me tell you something. Not only was he Broadway royalty, I first heard Billy Porter as a child in one of my favorite movies called The First Wives Club. He sang a song, Love is on the Way.
I know.
I'm getting goosebumps right here. Let me tell you something, Billy. And then what I love about Billy is that, and I call him Mr. Porter. What he talked about was all those years of not working, all those years of being passed over.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and so you know his moment. Viola Davis also said something. I believe it was her that said most actors in Hollywood don't make more than $50,000 a year.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole other.
Yeah. I'm like, I thought about that. I'm like, do I want to touch that? And then my mind was like, no. Moving on. But yeah, like there's this overnight sensation that they don't know took 20 years. You started at 4.
I was a baby for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were a baby.
Yeah.
A baby. Well, listen, this is your only day off. I just want to say thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
And giving me time. And I'm going to say something that most people, I don't say this to. Thank you for knowing who I was.
Absolutely. I owed that to you. So absolutely.
Thank you. Because, you know, folk like to try to surmise, oh, she was this, or oh, she was that. No, baby, you must didn't watch the same video I watched. You know? So give me 3 words that inspire and empower you as an artist to live, to move, to have your being.
Encouragement, reciprocity,
Mm-hmm.
and probably value.
Mm-hmm. This whole conversation has been about value.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Sure. I am the Fit Creative on Instagram. I have a company, TFC Training, on Instagram, and the Fit Creative on TikTok as well. I'm not big on Twitter. I don't. Yeah. But those are my.
I only use Twitter for dark Twitter.
You know.
And it's in my bio. It tells you, parents, censor your children because I'm an adult and I will not censor myself. That's my bio.
Okay, amen. Amen. I love you.
They're not going to do what they did to some of these other actors. Oh, he said this back in the day. No, I said it all. So that's a question I wanted to ask. Well, I'm going to put all the information below the video, but there was something that slipped my mind that fast. But definitely thank you for just taking the time to really. Oh, I remember now. Where are you performing? Where people can see you?
Oh, okay.
The Lion King.
Yes. Okay. So the North American tour of the Lion King is running forever. So I'm in a city near you. Literally, if you go on the website, we're currently in Arizona. We head to California next week.
Okay.
But in a city near you, we're taking over the West Coast right now, and then we head back. I think the closest thing to you, though, I'm going to hit you up when we get to Kennedy Center, because I think that's the closest thing to you.
Kennedy Center. I'm in Philadelphia, so yeah.
DC, like it's the DC area is close. And I actually think in a while down, late 2023, we're in actual Philly. But yes, you can find me in a city near you. Just go on the Lion King website. I promise I'll be there in a nice big bird costume, singing and dancing for you.
Wait a minute. You literally have this job until you don't want it anymore.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, Lord, from your ears from, from my mouth to your ears, Lord. I want a situation like that. Until I don't want it anymore. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. And I know a lot of hard work went into that. You have that job. It just hit me as we're closing. I'm just like, wait a minute. You have this job until you don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, keep wanting it. Keep wanting it. Keep
I will.
want it forever. Want it forever. Okay. All right. Don't go nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Mr. Marquise Hitchcock, who is in right now the Lion King North American tour. And you can see him in a city near you. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
Say goodbye, but don't go anywhere.
I won't. Bye. Thank you.
So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my thing down. I'll have you wanting my stilettos by the time I turn around. Turn that TV down.